the coaching jobs are already opening up, right? We already got the Jacksonville Jaguars firing Urban Meyer, which I think we all saw coming probably week
Yeah,
4 if you played.
yeah.
We didn't need 10 more weeks to know that wasn't going to work out. What do you think? You were a first pick. You've had your share of coaches.
Yeah.
You were a starting quarterback that welcomed in new coaches. What would you like to see for Trevor Lawrence from a coach coming in there to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I would like to see a guy like Byron Leftwich. I think Byron will do a great job with a young quarterback like Trevor Lawrence. He can start from point A and he can get him to point Z in 3 years max. I think starting with just the protections, breakdown of the pass game, what it takes to be a successful passer, how you move the ball down the field, how you get guys motivated and eager to play for you. And I think he'll be a player's coach. He understands the game. He won a Super Bowl last year. And what more experience do you need from a coach than a guy like Byron Leftwich? I think he's a total package.
How come he jumped over Eric Bieniemy? I'm curious. Like Bieniemy was so hot for those 3 years and hasn't and didn't get a lot of love. I thought he was going to get even some love for like this SC job and some other stuff. I'm curious why you go Leftwich over Bieniemy.
Because of the quarterback perspective, I wouldn't put Bieniemy with a guy like Trevor Lawrence because he's just a fresh quarterback. He started from ground zero. He came from Clemson where he had a lot of success, and now he's in Jacksonville where he needs help. He needs guidance. He needs tutelage. He needs somebody who can step in, who played the position. I feel this is my personal opinion, but taking into consideration that he's a young quarterback and he really has to start from point A. Everything he endured in college, it's not going to translate over to the NFL in a lot of situations and moments. So I think you need a guy like Byron who's had success, who can start from point A and get him to point Z just by hashing everything out in terms of, how to play the game, how to be a professional quarterback, and what it looks like on Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays.
I think I always find it really interesting when guys like Trevor Lawrence come from a team where position by position they are better athletically than their opposition. And
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter if it's their first read, second read, or third read. It's that player's a lot better than the guy that they're facing. That
right.
is rarely the case. That is never the case in the NFL where it's across the board better
No,
than them
no.
athletically. Like your first receiver might actually be in a bad situation, but your second receiver might be better. Your nickel guy
Yeah,
might be better. Your running
yeah,
back, your fullback. You never know who's going to have the advantage,
yeah,
and you got to try to position those guys in yourself to put
yes.
them in a position to be successful. That's what I really find interesting. I think Leftwich does that. Has certainly probably learned a lot of that from Brady because you see. I mean, last week the Bucks
They
couldn't
don't,
get
they
stay
don't
on the field.
mismatches.
They couldn't find a spot where they were better than the opposition. But
They know mismatches.
yeah, and that's what Trevor Lawrence needs to find is the mismatches. Someone
Yeah,
needs to teach him how to
yeah.
locate them, find them, and how they evolve. I
Right.
think
Identify.
that's a case.
Identify is the word. Yes.
Exactly, and it's not. It wouldn't be the gaming society if we didn't talk about the odds here. So you're right. Byron Leftwich plus 400. Kellen Moore, obviously offense coordinator from the Cowboys, plus 500.
Yeah.
Darren Bevel plus 550. Bieniemy 700. There's where I am. Joe Brady making a comeback plus 700. Then you fill it out with over people basically over 1,000 with Josh McDaniels, Pete Carroll, Jim Caldwell, Kyle Shanahan, guys that probably need to get fired to take another job before they would take Jacksonville. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Jacksonville has lost a little bit of its luster. I don't know if it's a fun team to go to. Get back-to-back first picks. They're going to be paying Urban Meyer for the next. I don't know. Well, they're going to try to not pay him, but that's a crappy situation to fall into. But
Yeah.
um,
And
we'll see.
I didn't even say this. Byron played in Jacksonville for years, so he's a known name out there. He's a figure in Jacksonville, and so that's a good fit. I also say this before you move forward. You just mentioned some of the teams. Eric Bieniemy to Detroit. If they decide to move on from Dan Campbell, he can change that coach out there. He's a hard-nosed coach. A city like Detroit needs a coach like Eric Bieniemy.
I always laugh about Jacksonville. I think about the people showing up to the radio show. Byron Leftwich would have no problem filling up the bar at the local radio. You know when the coach does the weekly radio shows.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. The perfect situation for Byron. Perfect situation.